So good morning everyone. Welcome to our fourth week of our discussion sa ating Seamanship 3. No? So on our fourth week, it is regarding about the bulk cargo. So in bulk cargo, ang nag-generate dyan is the International Maritime Solid Bulk Cargo. So or the IMSBC SBC code. So for this International Convention of Safety of Life at Sea under the SOLAS Convention, it is amended and it deals with the various aspects of maritime safety and constraints in the Chapter 4, 6. No? The mandatory provisions governing the carriage of solid bulk, these provisions are extended in international solid bulk cargo. So si IMSBC, siya yung nagre-regulate pagdating dito sa bulk cargo. So in this aim, the IMSBC, no? So which in further it is replaced by the safe practice of solid bulk cargo. So naging BC code na lang siya. In a way to facilitate the shipment of the solid bulk by providing information of dangers associated with the shipment, types of solid bulk cargoes and instructions of procedures to adapt with the shipment of solid bulk cargoes and contemplated. So it is with regards sa shipment ng mga solid bulk cargoes kung paano ba isi-ship in a proper way and ano ba yung mga hazards na pwedeng maiwasan or to prevent, no, para hindi magkaroon ng spoil pagdating sa bulk cargo na itatransport natin na goods. So it is associated in bulk cargoes relating to the structural damage, no? Kung makaka-damage ba ng vessel yung kargada nating bulk, or it is a true improper distribution or loss of reduction of the stability. Baka mamaya nagkarga tayo, yung kadalasan kasi para magkaroon tayo ng ah, makasave tayo ng time and energy and also the money, yung ginagawa, kinakarga lahat ng shipment sa isang vessel. So, in which nagiging improper distribution siya ng cargo. So, baka mamaya, ang maximum lang na tons na kaya ng isang vessel is, for example, no, 20% lang. Then, nagsosobra tayo ng 40%. Kasi, syempre, na nakakapag-transport naman tayo before ng ganon, no? So, sometimes, naiisip nila na, bakit hindi natin gawin ulit? In this case, doon nagkakaroon ng mga uh, monkey business. It means that yung business is outside the knowledge of the charterer. Hindi niya na alam or uh, hindi siya aware sa ginagawa ng mga onboard crew, no? Lalong-lalo na the captain. So in this case, it is primarily aimed in this IMSBC code to facilitate the safe stowage and shipment of bulk cargoes in certain types of instruction on the procedures to be adopted when the shipment of solid bulk is contemplated. So in this observance of this code, it is harmonized the practices, no, yung safe practices and right procedures to be followed for the appropriate precautions taken during loading and unloading, trimming and carriage of or discharge procedure for the transport of sea with ensuring the compliance kung nakaka-comply ba, sumusunod ba sa mandatory provisions ng SOLAS Convention. Kung sumusunod ba tayo sa provisions or sa regulation na binibigay pagdating sa bulk cargo transporting of goods. So, it is adopted, no? In-implement siya, in-adapt siya during the 2008 December 4. So, by resolution of this, and nag-enter into force siya, kumbaga laganap na talaga, pina-enforce na sa lahat, kung hindi lahat susunod sa ganito, is mawawalan ng license to operate. So, it is entered into force during January 1, 2011. In this date, it is under the provisions of SOLAS Convention. So when it is entered into force, yung nagre-regulate na niyan, nung time na yan, is si SOLAS na. So since then, it is amended by MSC and the MSC resolutions. So with noticing the IMSBC code does not cover the carriage of grain bulk. So it is requirements of transporting of grain are covered by the International Code or Safe Carriage of Grain in Bulk. So, with regards naman sa International Grain Code of 1991. So, MSC stands for the Maritime Safety Committee. It is authorized by the IMO. So, authorized siya ni International Maritime Organization, and it is assembly adopt in the amendments. Through this, the IMO is respond to the promise of developments of the transporting of goods. So, ano ba yung mga ano na ma-expect natin pagdating sa ating bulk cargo? So, bulk cargo, meron siyang angle of response yan, no? And cargoes that may be liquefied. So, angle of response, just imagine, no, sa isang canister or sa lagay ng asukal nyo, for example, meron kayong container or canister ng asukal, magpo-pour kayo ng asukal diyan, tapos kapag inalog-alog nyo, magkakaroon siya ng ah, sides kung saan siya pupunta. For example, ay yung barko nyo is yung lagayan ng asukal. Subukan nyo i-tilt siya ng patagilid, doon pupunta yung mga asukal. I-tilt nyo naman dito sa bandang kanan, doon mapupunta yung asukal. Yung pinaka-angle niya, no? Ayun yung sinasabi na angle of response. So, kaya ko sinasabi yan kasi sa barko, meron tayong bulk. Yung lagayan ng cargo natin, no? Yung bulk cargo natin. So, once na pinore natin yan, for example, no, yung grain, is magkakaroon din siya ng angle of response. For example, nagkaroon tayo ng swaying yung vessel. So, nakatagilid yung vessel natin. Ibig sabihin, may tendency na yung response ng grain natin is mapupunta dito sa starboard side or port side kung saan naka-trim or naka naka-slope yung ating vessel. So, in this case, the maximum slope angle, yung sinasabi maximum slope angle or non-cohesive, it is free-flowing, no? Kaya minsan kapag walang masyadong laman or hindi compact yung cargo natin, the granular material, so it is measured with the angle of horizontal plane and the cone slope of the material. So, another example pa is cargoes that may liquefy. So, for example, magkaroon lang siya ng konting moisture or mag-moist siya in a certain portion of these fine particles may amount of moisture. No, magkaroon lang siya, mag-change lang ng temperature, pwede siyang malusaw or magkaroon lang ng from cold tapos magiging hot or from hot magiging cold, no, that may liquefy the ship with a moisture content and it is excess for the transportable moisture limit. So, tendency may spoil yung ating kargada. So, dapat pagdating dyan is controlled natin yung temperature or what is the limit or the temperature na ita-transport natin. So, another factor pa is yung float state. So, float state, it a state of occurring with the mass and granular material. It is saturated with the liquid. So, in liquid form naman to yung kanina. Yung angle of response, no, granular siya. Dito naman sa flow state is yung liquid. So, to the extent of the influence of prevailing external forces, so, syempre, ano pa ba yung makakapag tagilid sa barko natin or makakapaggalaw ng vessel natin, yung mga external forces, ito yung sound, yung waves, no, yung weather condition. So in this case, or vibration, the impacts of the ship motion loses the internal shear or the strength of the heaves of the liquid. So syempre, parang sa ganun for example naman, yung lagayan natin ng oil or ng cooking oil. No? So, syempre kapag inalog-alog niya yan, tendency, nagbabago din yung position ng liquid sa loob ng bottle ng cooking oil. So, ganun din sa vessel. No? Once the external forces break the standing position of the vessel, magkakaroon siya ng vibration and tendency magkakaroon siya ng impact sa ship motion. Kasi, syempre, yung stability ng vessel mababago. Mapupunta yung puwersa sa starboard side o mapupunta sa port side. No? And that impact is malaking bagay yon para mabago din yung stability ng vessel natin. So, another thing is transportable moisture limit. So, of a cargo which may liquefy. So, ayun yung sasabi ko kanina, no, yung ano ba yung limit or ano ba yung temperature na kailangan natin maano. So the maximum moisture content of the cargo is considered safe for the carriage of ships. So, ano ba yung dapat natin i-prepare pagdating sa ating cargo holds? So, when it is nominated to load grain, yung grain na tinutukoy natin, ship staff shall remember the following. Ano ba yung mga dapat natin dadaan? So, sabi dito, even after discharging or other grain cargo prior to nomination, the holds for any other require as thorough cleaning and preparation as required previous cargo. So, for example, meron kayong lagay ng asukal. Sige, asukal na lang. So, ngayon naubos na yung asukal. Ngayon, meron kayong bagong lagay ng asukal at meron kayong kape naman. Gusto nyo ilagay yung lagay ng kape, gusto nyo ilagay yung kape doon sa lagay ng asukal dati. So, bago nyo syempre ilipat yung kape doon sa lagay ng asukal dati, lilinisin nyo siya. So, the same thing, bago kayo mag-transfer ng another cargo to a different cargo na ita-transfer nyo, lilinisin nyo. Kasi magkaiba sila ng content. Bakit? Syempre baka mamaya yung kape, yung iba hindi naman mahilig sa matamis na kape, dahil may ano siya ng asukal dati, tendency nagkakaroon siya ng lasa, nagiging matamis. So, ganun din pagdating sa barko. Baka mamaya, ang nilagay nyo na product before is asukal, tapos lalagyan nyo siya ng asin, tendency mababago yung lasa ng asin. So, syempre, sa inyo, okay lang yon. Pero sa makaka-receive ng goods sa mga bumili ng bulto-bultong asukal or ng asin, hindi maganda product yon kasi ibebenta nila yon at kasiraan sa product nila yon. So, again, when you are transferring of goods or exchanging of the goods from one container to another, dapat it is thoroughly cleaned, no? Na parang bago yung paglalagyan nyo because dapat walang trace. No? Sabi dito, no trace of any previous cargo residue where it is held on its structure. No? Yung para talagang bago yung canister or bago yung cargo hold na paglalagay nyo. Number 3, there are no shall loose rust or flaking paint patches allowed to any part of the cargo. So, dapat daw walang ang tawag sa Tagalog ng rust, dapat daw walang kalawang, no? Nahirapan ako sa Tagalog. Dapat daw walang kalawang or dapat wala daw nagtatanggal-tanggal na kalawang kasi syempre pwede malasahan yon or mahalo or ma-mix dun sa goods na ita-transport natin. So, dapat clean as new siya. Parang bago yung container na paglalagyan nyo. So, again, the hatch cover underneath, hatch coming or the channels of the range, free from loose nuts, paints, flakes, and other cargo residue. So, yung hatch na tinatawag dito, ito yung opening kung saan natin pinapasok yung kargada, no? So, dapat daw, loose from rust siya, wala siyang kalawang, wala din daw anong flakes ng kalawang or flakes ng pagkakapintura, or wala din daw cargo residue doon. So, number 5, cargo bulkhead size or hopper plates shall have no previous cargo dirty stains, katulad nung sa kanina. Rust on the tank-top common or bark or less rust is not accepted. On hard hardening rust need not be removed. Cargo holds or weather deck shall be inspected and cleaning and washing. Ensure that there are no trace or any live or dead insects. So, pagdating doon, common sense na, hindi ko na masyado i-discuss, no? So, syempre, sino ba yung maglalagay ng pagkain or something na transporting of goods na mayroong mga insects or marumi yung paglalagay nyo? So, common sense na yan. And the 8 cargo hold bridges shall be clean, free of any trace of previous cargo residue, rust particles, odor-free, wala ka maaamoy na galing ng pinanggalingan ng any other residue na galing sa dating transport nyo na goods, and this will be verified under the weather deck or across the decks around with the coming stays and underneath the pipelines and no trace of previous cargo residue. So, hold cleaning criteria. First, find out what was the 3 to 4 cargoes carried and inform all crew that all know what cargo residue to look for. So, dapat yung mga previous cargoes, alam nyo kung ano yung dati nakakalagay doon. Number two, removal of cargo residue. So, dapat daw air blow from top using the high pressure air and the nozzle tied up for pull to each of the accessible corners. So, dapat daw naka-tie up yung nozzle natin. So, close the washing with the high pressure. So, gamit natin dito ang high pressure machine and to have a 250 bars and above for the water lance gun, special attention to the following areas. So, dapat daw gamitin natin dito is yung high pressure na water, no? High pressure water. Kasi kung yung mga normal hose lang yan, hindi siya mawawala. Hindi matatanggal yung stains. On the cargo bulk, ano yung mga pwede natin gamitin or yung surface preparation natin, yung mga equipment na gagamitin natin doon. First, we have the Australian ladder and its platforms and stanchions, beams, girders under the cross decks, pipe guards, presses behind the pipes, large pipes holding brackets, behind the pipes, behind the flat face or the transverse face, and horizontal stringer plates, wherever it is fitted. So first, bulk cargo, no? Cargo hold residue of the cement sticking all over. So makikita nyo dyan, may mga residue na nakadikit sa bulk cargo, no? For example, ang huli nyong transport ng goods is cement. So yung semento, makikita mo, may trace pa. Ngayon, magta-transfer kayo ng another different type of cargo. Bigla naging pagkain. Tapos cement yung nalagay nyo. So again, pwede may spoil, no? Next, bulk cargo residue stuck behind the shell frame. So dapat i-check nyo mabuti, no? Kasi sa shell faceplate or the cargo residue, meron siya mga angle bar, tapos yung angle bar natatakpan siya, and during cleaning, hindi nyo na napapansin kasi nakatakip. Lalong-lalo na kung yung mga angle bar natin is hindi naman siya flat surface na makikita nyo agad. So always check all the sides and all the lines na naka-structure sa ating bulk cargo. So on the bracket yung nakalagay dyan, no? So sa bracket, this is usually na kung saan i-stays yung ating or nag-accumulate yung ating cargo residue. Kasi syempre, naiipit siya dyan. So check nyo rin yung mga brackets natin. Next, and we have a cargo residue sticking to a plain bulk. Ayun yung mangyayari. No? Makikita nyo naman kapag nag-transport na kayo ng goods. No? Makita nyo, syempre, familiar na kayo dyan sa surface niyan. Kung smooth ba or merong mga parang dots yung ating bulk. No? So, in the areas where under the cross decks, where the beams are geared, their flanges can have a cargo residue. So, yung mga spaces na yan, check nyo rin. No? Flanges of beams and girders. Solid plate guards of pipe passing through the holds cargo residue remains inside the guard plates and brackets. So, check nyo rin daw yung brackets, cargo residue if meron nandun. No? So, removal of loose rust and paint flakes. Paano daw ba natin i-remove? So, whenever loose paint or loose rust is suspected, general appearance of the paint flakes or blisters or painted surface, a sharp, hard scraper, gagamit daw tayo ng scraper to be used to take up the peeling rust and paint flakes. Special attention to the following areas. So, just remember, kapag meron po tayo natatanggalan ng pintura, hindi po siya dapat pinturahan agad. Dapat proper surface cleaning muna. Tatanggalin natin yung natatanggal na pintura. Then, hayaan natin siya na ma-flat yung surface. Kasi kung tatapalan agad natin ng pintura, tendency, lolobo lang yan. At magtatanggal ulit. No? So, again, anong gagamitin natin? Australian ladder, platforms, handrails, and stanchions, beams, and girders under across decks, pipe guards, recess, and behind the pipelines, large pipes holding brackets, and behind the pipes. So, in this area, dapat special attention to the following areas tayo. No? Kasi, ayun yung kadalasan nagkakaroon ng removal of loose rust and paint flakes. So, behind the flat face and vertical face of the transverse frames and brackets, also hopper tank plates, hatch coamings, and under the hatch covers, man entry booby hatches and covers. So, loose rust ay example ng loose rust flakes and blisters on hold bulk cargos. Ganyan yung makita nyo yung itsura. No? So, parang nakaangat siya, hindi siya flat sa surface or hindi siya flat. Kumbaga parang meron kayong tagyawat sa mukha. Hindi flat yung surface. Mapapansin nyo yung na hindi kayo glass skin na tinatawag. No? So, ganun din sa barko. Mapapansin nyo na kapag parang may mali dito. No? Okay, so widespread rust blisters and cargo hold bulkhead. So yun yung itsura ng mga blisters and loose paints natin. So rust scales on the side frames which come off with a scraper. Ayan. May itsura. Then rust flaking on the loose pipelines. And then yung mga babantayan nyo, no? Kasi ayun yung mga madalas magkaroon ng rust. And it can contaminate the cargo na tinatransport natin. Perfectly painted surface have a isolated loose rust blisters. Ayan. So in this condition of underneath of hatch covers, so ano gagawin natin? Inspect condition of underneath hatch covers when it is in a open condition. Loose rust or cargo residue shall be scraped off. Areas where the grain hole or cement holes you must have a special attention. Hatch cover, vent louvers, and nets are usually found rusty. Paint the scrape areas to have a clean look, and hatch cover channels and drains require clean appearance and no cargo accepted. So first, loose rust flakes and cargo residue underneath the hatch cover. So ito yung vent louvers natin. No, ayun yung makikita nyo underneath the hatch covers. Then loading of grain cargo using conveyor. So conveyor yung ginagamit po natin pag nagta-transport tayo ng goods with regard sa bulk. Then in this condition, underneath the hatch cover, so inulit ko lang. Yes, inulit lang. No? Ayun yung conveyor. Then this area, ito yung mismong vessel natin. Ayun yung pinaka-bulk. So loose rust flakes underneath the hatch cover. Yan po. So, special attention to be paid on the hull or the cement covers. Grain holes on the hatch cover. Ayun yung pinaka-ilalim ng hatch cover. So, sa taas, ayun yung pinaka-entrance. Then, kapag nakapasok na kayo sa loob, yung kapag nakatakip yan, ayun yung hatch cover na tinatawag. Para siyang manhole. So, ayan daw yung acceptable condition. So, acceptable condition, na-scrape nyo na yung blisters, yung rust, then natanggalan nyo na rin ang kalawang, tapos na-clean nyo na yung surface area, tapos napinturahan nyo na. So, in this case, acceptable condition na yung kanyang cargo hold. So, the man entry bubay hatch, ay natawag natin bubay hatch, entrance and its cover rust with a cargo residue. Kung mapapansin nyo, ang daming rust over the cargo residue. So, hold entrance on the bubay hatch acceptable condition. So, the difference between this and the previous one. No? In this case, ganito daw yung acceptable condition na. No? So, since parang meron pa rin siyang konting rust on the upper side, so dapat matanggal yon. Pero for me, hindi pa rin siya acceptable, no? Kasi pwedeng itong mga natitira dito na blisters or rust sa may upper side, pwede pa rin siya mag-accumulate or magsimula ng panibagong blisters, no? So, pag ganyan, since nakita niyo meron pa natitira, dapat ulitin niyo, no? Then it becomes acceptable condition na. So removal of previous cargo stain left by by previous dirty cargoes such as the coal, mineral ores must be removed as such as possible. Stains shall not be acceptable when it comes to to white cloth rubbing. Surveyor inspector to carry out this process. Vessel shall be have a sufficient cleaning chemical like a actual tooth available on board, along with the spraying equipment, chemical resistant personal protective cloths, and safeguards. So vessel must have a air pressure, combi gun to be clean, such as the higher places. So cargo stains of coal cargo on the L bulk hopper. So may mga stain pa rin siya, no? Kung mapapansin nyo, hindi siya the same as, hindi sila pare-pareho ng kulay. No? May shade. So, stains of coal cargo on the hopper plates, no? Parang may black stains pa siya. So, dapat medyo maroon lang yung color niya. So, since coal yung transport nyo, makita nyo pa rin meron pa rin stain of coal. Next, removal of tank top, loose rust. So, tank tops of bulk carriers can never stay painted as a heavy bulldozers and grab works on them. Tank top should be free of loose rust and cargo residue. Any rust which can be scraped by the scraper should be removed, and hard adhering rust is not a hindrance or hindi siya balakid to hold a acceptability, and the tank should be rinsed with the fresh water. So cargo tank top should be loose rust patches. So ay yung mga itsura ng loose rust patches. Tank top excessive loose rust coming up by scraping, no? Kumbaga natatanggal na mismo siya sa surface ng tank top nyo, no? Tank top, it is yung pinakataas ng tanke, tank top. Yung nagko-convey, yung nagsasarado sa pinaglagyan nyo ng cargo. So, that includes our discussion for today, and meron ako bibigay na exercises with regards sa bulk cargo, no? So madali lang 'to. It is a way kung meron kayong natutunan sa surface preparation and sa pag from surface preparation and how to hold a transport of goods, especially on a bulk cargo. Thank you.